Thank you very much for that, because that ranged in a very factual and substantial way from global, the whole global threat and the part that Islamist authorities play as a part of the global ruling class, and went on to the threat to, to us, to all of us in this room, and the need for us to have a tremendous solidarity with the people who may or may not have be Muslims in their beliefs, but they can be labelled as such. Now, Keith is now going to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I pay tribute very much to Roy, both for what the elegant and eloquent comments he's just made, and the very considered analysis, which I'm sure that all of us subscribe to. And I feel privileged to be part of the team at the UN who work on this, and Roy has done so much work in the past in this in such a powerful way, and we all, I'm sure, are very grateful for that. I would, in the short time that there is, just want to bring some current points up which have come to my notice, which I thought were quite interesting in the last few days. One is in relation to the trial on apostasy of Saeed Musa in Afghanistan. He's just being denied any kind of justice at all. And they've even blocked a lawyer coming to visit him in prison. And the comment that's been made is, if a man is not entitled to define his own beliefs and to change those ideas under the existing constitutional order of Afghanistan, then how is this government more moral than the Taliban's? That's what the lawyer said. And it does make you wonder what the Americans have been fighting for in Afghanistan, or anyone else. It's actually quite shocking. They say justice and democracy, but what was that? Another recent news item is, I find, fairly depressing, and it's just been published in today's Newsline, which the National Secretary Society produces each week. Look at the website if you want to find it. And that was a research by the Pew Research Center in the States, a survey of 8,000 Muslims. And it found out, shockingly, that majorities in Pakistan, Egypt, Jordan, and Nigeria of Muslims would favor changing current laws to allow stoning as punishment for adultery, hand amputation for theft, and death for those who convert from Islam to any other religion. And that, I must say, I find deeply, deeply worrying. And as far as the kind of direction of travel, it's, although there are some quite positive signs in Lebanon and Turkey, the position in Egypt and Nigeria is going backwards at a rate of knots. One of the things that I'm trying to work hard on here is responding to Roy's point about Sharia creep and the dreadful situation both in the UK and in other places in Europe, and quite apart from the even worse things that are happening elsewhere. And what I'm doing is working behind the scenes in the UK Parliament and in the government, and also in the European Parliament and the European Commission, and actively engaged with work there. I'm finding doing it behind the scenes actually working better than doing it with politicians who are predictably and disgracefully worried from being associated openly with working with any kind of activity that challenges Sharia. And that in itself tells us something deeply unpalatable, but I'm moderately optimistic about making some progress in the other areas and with the other methods I mentioned. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. And finally, we have the pleasure of hearing Mina again.
Thank you. Ich möchte heute sehr kurz erklären, auf meine Sicht Religion, alle Religionen gehören Vergangenheit. Und
Today I briefly want to explain and express that, in my opinion, all religion belong to the past.
Und in einer modernen Welt und in laufender Zeit, in einem normalen Prozess, Religion verliert also seine Macht oder Einfluss in unser Alltagsleben, alle Religionen.
In a normal process in modern times, all religion, they will lose their power and their influence.
Die Frage ist, dass zum Beispiel in einem europäischen Land, wieso Kirche zum Beispiel oder Religionen also Macht haben und welche Rolle spielen diese Institutionen im Hilfe von politischem Islam oder islamischen Organisationen.
The question is how, for example, in a European country, the church, a religion, can have power, and in what way does this help for the Islamic movement or the political Islamic movement?
Zum Beispiel in Deutschland, Kirche haben sehr viele Rolle und das ist so wie ein Unternehmerkonzern und haben sehr viele Krankenhäuser, sehr viele Kindergärten und so weiter und das finde ich absolut nicht in Ordnung, weil sehr viel politischer Einfluss haben auch in Deutschland zum Beispiel.
For example, in Germany, the church has a lot of influence and plays a big role. It is like an enterprise. It has hospitals, kindergartens, and I wonder what kind, and I say that this also plays an important part in their political power.
Wir haben eine Mitglied von Zentrale der Ex-Muslime in Deutschland, hat eine Mitglied und diese Frau arbeitet in einem Krankenhaus, das gehört Kirche. Und sie hat sehr viel Angst dort erklären, ich bin Ex-Muslim, weil vielleicht sie verliert den Job. Und das finde ich überhaupt nicht in Ordnung.
We have a member of the Council of Ex-Muslims in Germany, and she is working in an institution that belongs to the church, and she is very afraid to say that she is not religion, that she's an ex-Muslim, because she might otherwise lose her job, and I don't think that is correct.
Wenn wir zum Beispiel in Deutschland diskutieren, Kinder brauchen keinen Religionunterricht, dadurch Kirche hat sehr viele Rolle und die deutsche Regierung, zum Beispiel CDU, CSU und die Parteien sind sehr religiös, dann erklären sie, muss man Religionunterricht haben und die Islamisten erklären, dann wir müssen auch dort sein.
When we, for example, discuss in Germany that children don't need a religion, then the political parties where religion plays a strong role, for example, the CDU and the CSU, they say, no, children need a religion, and this, for example, helps the political Islam to say, yes, the children need religious studies.
Ich denke, es gibt ein Problem in diesem System, ein Loch, und von dort kommt auch sehr viele Gewalt oder weißt du, die politische Islam kommt rein und wenn man möchte, zum Beispiel gegen Einfluss von politischem Islam oder islamischen Organisationen sein, die beste Konzept ist das, mehr Säkularismus und keine Religion darf sich einmischen.
There is a hole in the system through which the political Islam is getting in, and to fight this, in my opinion, the best say is there is no power for religion at all.
Ich denke, also die europäischen Regierungen haben politische und wirtschaftliche Interesse, zum Beispiel im Iran oder sogenannte islamische Länder, und deswegen arbeiten zusammen. Aber soweit religiöse Organisationen betrifft, die spielen auch sehr schlechte Rolle und deswegen wir sind in diese Situation gelandet.
There are economical and political interests that the European governments have, and that's why they're working with other governments, for example, together. But also the religious organizations, they're playing a bad role, and that is why we're in the situation we're having now.
Und am Ende möchte ich schon noch einmal betonen, wenn wir zum Beispiel über Kopftuchprobleme oder Insel von Islamisten in London zum Beispiel reden, dann reden wir über eine sehr ernste Probleme, nicht nur Menschenrechte, sondern auch eine sehr wichtige politische Probleme. Und deswegen, ich denke, die Basis, wir müssen schon, also die Organisationen so wie Ex-Muslime mit anderen humanistischen Organisationen, säkulare Organisationen zusammenarbeiten. Wir müssen alle zusammen vorne gehen vor mehr Säkularismus, vor mehr Trennung von Religion und Staat und Trennung von Religion von Unterricht. Ich habe sehr lange gesprochen.
I want to stress that if we are talking, for example, about problems with the hijab or islands of Islamists in London, that this is a very important issue about human rights and about women's rights, and we must all work together with other organizations to fight this. And for example, the and we are saying the way forward is that we have to have more secularism.
Ja, am Ende, ich möchte nur sagen, also Religion muss vom Staat und vom Unterricht getrennt sein, und wenn dann absolut ist, kann man besser mit Islamisten und also politische Islam kämpfen, auch in europäischen Ländern.
I want to say that religion has to be separated from state, and when this is done, then you can fight better with Islamists and Islamic organizations.